When I started my taper, I was already in tolerance withdrawal. I had actually been in tolerance withdrawal for many years. However, I never knew I didn't need to get a prescription for the medications and I could just go into a pharmacy and buy them. And over the years, my use skyrocketed to an extreme level. The medications had basically stopped working for me after quite a short amount of time. So when I did start my taper, I was already in tolerance withdrawal and I had no other option but to come off the medications. I was taking approximately 20 milligrams of lorazepam daily when I started my taper, and those doses may not seem real. And looking back on them now, I have no idea how I was able to function, but I could function. I was trapped in a never-ending cycle of permanent anxiety. And even though the medications were no longer working correctly, I still had to do a taper. Otherwise, I risked seizures and worse. I don't really want to go into the darkness of my personal experience. But again, I'm making this for you now. I know you can be sitting in your home now, and I know you can feel isolated from everything around you. I remember I was unable to feel anything except fear and dread. I was taking care of my daughter the best I possibly could. There was a time when things got very dark, and I'm going to share that with you now. I had also had issues with alcohol for pretty much my whole life. I was a very high functioning addict. I was so high functioning, I didn't even think I had addiction issues. I could carry on working, doing everything I needed to do. And during the taper, I was drinking alcohol every evening. I needed to try and find something to help me to sleep, to calm the chaos. But sadly, one evening when I was going to the bathroom, I fell down the stairs. I collapsed and I fell from the top of the stairs to the bottom. I was a single parent, as I have mentioned to you before, and my daughter had to go and stay with my sister for 6 months. So this was during the lockdowns, and I spent 6 months in my home, and it was the previous home to where I live now. And for most of that time, I had no idea what was real. I had no idea if the chaos within my mind would ever go away. And there were times when the feelings of hopelessness and I'm not sure how to say this. And there were times I could not see any way through the nightmare I was in. But I want you to know that where you are now is not going to be forever. It doesn't matter how old you are when you're watching this, we can all heal. I know you can feel like there's no way you can carry on the way you are now, but you will get through this. And that is why I always say to you, you concentrate on your routine for today. Whatever time it is when you are watching this, after you finish watching the video, try to think of one thing that can help you to make your day just that little bit easier. I do know I went through my taper alone. I was petrified to tell anybody about the thoughts that were going through my mind. They were dark. They were very, very dark. I do understand that the thoughts going through your mind now may make you think that you're a bad person, but you're not. The way the benzodiazepines work is by calming down your mind, and it's a false calm. Your receptors become overloaded, and when you're coming off the medications, everything within your mind is dialed up 1,000-fold. There is no trying to make sense of what is going on. But one of the important things that you can do is to tell yourself that all of the thoughts in your mind, all of the chaos that you're experiencing now is not you. It's not who you will remain. It's not who you will be for the rest of your life. We concentrate on our structure. We concentrate on our routine for the day. And over time, as your mind regains balance, the chaos, the anxiety, the depression, the darkness will begin to fade. One of the best things you can do is go outside for a walk. Even if you just go outside and get some fresh air at your front door. Where I live, it's now the middle of June and the weather's been absolutely horrendous. I am hoping we will get a summer. Now, before, I had never walked anywhere in my life. And now if the weather's okay and it's not too windy, I am outside as much as I possibly can be. Now, I do have a lot of other physical health issues, but I don't let that stop me. I'm not going outside speed walking. I'm not hiking. I'm not going up mountains or trails. I walk slowly and methodically, and I concentrate on my breathing. I practice mindfulness throughout my day. If my mind starts to wander, and I'm not talking about anxiety here, I'm not talking about fear, I am just talking in general day-to-day terms. If I'm sitting and my mind starts to drift somewhere and I realize, I gently bring myself back to the moment. I look around and I look at the room and I'm like, yes, this is where I am. Any negativity I may feel about myself or a situation I have to deal with, I bring myself back to the moment. I do remember during my taper, even though I was in tolerance withdrawal, I did come off the medications quite quickly. I don't want to give you my exact doses because what worked for me may not work for you. We all have to do things at a pace that is comfortable for ourselves. However, I did connect with one guy off the forum and we exchanged phone numbers, and over the coming months we would talk with each other, and that can be helpful. You do not want to be around anyone that is negative, self-pity, thinking that you cannot heal will just make your journey that much more difficult. Try not to take on too many things at once. Concentrate on your routine. Try to get outside for a walk. That and breathing are two of the most important things you can do. Eat foods that we know are good for us. And one of the most beneficial things you can do is to keep yourself well hydrated. Concentrate on your gut health too. Things like fermented foods or probiotics can help you because in our gut biodome, we produce a lot of serotonin, and that can help to lift your mood, even if only a little bit. Now, I understand that my videos are quite repetitive, and that is only because the truth and the path to healing is through the simple things. It's not through overthinking your symptoms. It's not through over analyzing everything that you're going through. Concentrate on mindfulness. Concentrate on bringing yourself back to the present moment. Listen to music that calms you. Please, please, please try to stay off your mobile phone as much as you can. short form content and social media in general is causing you more problems and more chaos, making your healing journey that much more difficult. Short form content is pretty much one of the worst things you can engage in during this time. In fact, short form content is pretty much the worst thing you can do for your mental health at any time, regardless of benzos, regardless of any other issues. Short form content and mobile phone use overexcites your mind. And then it means when you are sitting without the use of your phone, the chaos in your mind becomes even more extreme. So try to listen to some music, even watch a movie on your TV or a TV series, something that you've watched before and you've enjoyed. Those things do help. I have lived a very different type of life. It's actually quite strange. I never thought I would get to this point, but within the next 2 months, I'll be releasing my autobiography. Now, I don't recommend you read that because it's quite long and it's quite dark. And after I have completed that, I will write another book that does focus on benzodiazepines. It won't be as complicated, it won't be over bloated with the noise of my life, but it will be simple, easy to follow steps that can help. The only problem is when I make these videos, it's a bit different for me talking into my telephone, and I kind of never really know what I'm going to talk about with you. So if you can let me know in the comments, I can talk to you just about my general days, how I live now. My life was quite chaotic. Amongst many other things, I worked in the nightclub industry for 30 years. So I went from living in the nightlife and working in the nightlife to a life I live now, which is the total opposite. It's the total opposite. I have went from existing in the nightlife to now living a life of virtual solitude. I may be lucky if I see 1 or 2 people per month, but that's by design. This is the life I have chosen to live now. And this is why I make these videos for you, to let you know that where you are now, you will improve steadily day by day. Keeping track of your days, your weeks, and your months will cause more stress within your mind. You concentrate on today. Do what you need to do to make this day a little bit better, and you will get through. I feel a great deal of empathy towards you, and that's why I make these for you. I could make videos on any other topic. I have a lot of knowledge relating to mental health, addiction, and also physical health. But I do believe that movement, mindfulness, and breathing are the most important things that you can do. So I want you to keep going. I want you to stay strong. And I want you to know that you will heal. You get through today, and over time, your mind will heal and you will find a place of peace. You just never stop. You never give up.